day everyone. Good day everyone. My name is Princess Avatala, first year college from BSED Mathematics. So today I'm going to show you the formulas or example of the sum and difference identities and formulas. So I have the six examples of this topic. So first one is example of sum and difference identity using sign function. The second example is difference identity using the sign function. The third one is example of sum identity using cosine function. An example of difference identity using cosine function. So the fourth one is fifth rather. The fifth one is the example of identity using tangent function. And the last one is the example of difference identity using tangent function. That's all. To be God be the glory. So let's start with the sine function. So the sine function is a plus b is equal to sine a cos b plus cos a sine b. And in the other way, sine A minus B is equal to sine A cosine B minus cosine A and sine B. So here's are the example. The example is the sine A is a 75 degrees. So in 75 degrees, so let's see if they want to find the value of 75 degrees. On how can we do that? How can we use the formula to evaluate the sine 75? So you need to ask yourself what two angles that are very common that adds to 75. So this is the common angle that adds to equivalent 75 is 30 degrees plus 45 degrees, which is this is sine A and this is cosine B. So let's say if is a 30 degrees, so the 30 degrees is A and the 45 degrees is B. So this gonna be that is equal to this is sine A is 30 cosine this is B is 45 degrees plus cosine 30 this is A and sine B is 45 degrees. This is V function. So since the 30 degrees of the unit circle is 1/2, so the 45 degrees in the unit circle is square root of 2 over 2 plus, and the 30 degrees of cosine is square root of, in the unit circle is square root of 3 over 2. And the sine of 45 degrees is square root of 2 over 2. So, we can add this. So, or multiply these two. So, 1 times 2 is equal to square root of 2 over 2 times 2 is 4. Plus, we can copy the sign, plus square root of 3 times square root of 2 is square root of 6. So the denominator is the same. This is 4. So the answer is 2 square root of 2 plus 6 square root of 6 over 4. So that we get the answer of the 75 degrees. This is the sine function formula of example. So, by the way, if you are not if you are not going to have the access of unit circle, it might be useful for you to know the special triangle. So the second example is the difference identity using the sine function and a plus b, or a minus b. So, in 15 degrees, sine in 15 degrees, which is this is subtraction. So the formula is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. So the example is 15 degrees, so in the unit circle, the sine A, so in the unit circle, the sine is 45 degrees. This is A minus 30 degrees, and this is B, is equal to sine 45 and cos 30 minus, because this is subtraction, minus cos 45 and sine 30. So in the unit circle, the 45 degrees is, the radians is 2 over square root of 2 over 2. And the 30 degrees in unit circle, the radians is square root of 3 over 2 minus, this is the same, square root of 2 over 2, and the 30 degrees in the unit circle is, the radians is 1 over 2. So we can subtract this, so, or times this, or multiply this into their cilium. So square root of 2 times square root of 3 is equal to square root of 6 over 4. And this one is, second term is square root of 2 times 1 is, so we can copy the sign, which is negative. So negative square root of 2 over positive 2. Oh, this is 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. So the final answer is square root of 6 minus square root of 2 over 4. So we can have the copy of denominator because they are which is now we must to evaluate, let's say tangent 30 degrees. So tangent 30, that's the Tua part of the SOHCAHTOA to tangent. So tangent is equal to opposite side of opposite side. Opposite of 30. 30 is divided by adjacent by side. Now for tangent you give going to have the national rationalize. So when you rationalize, the denominator is going to be 3 over 3. So since tangent 30 is equal to 1 over 3. So we're going to have the rationalize, which is that square root of in the numerator is square root of 1 over square root of 3. So in the rationalize we must copy the denominator which is square root of 3 over square root of 3. So 1 times square root of 3 is equal to square root of 3, and we must be copy the denominator because they are the same. So the answer is square root of 3. So that's we get this answer. So now, what about the cosine 7 pi over 12? So how can we evaluate this function? What's the first thing that you would do? So first, let's convert angle from radians to degrees. To do that, we need to multiply by 80 degrees. So the 7 pi over 12 is, we need to multiply it in 180 degrees over. So what to do is such as the way that the units of pi. So it will cancel because they are the same, or the terms. So the pi, cancel the pi. So what's 7 times 180 over 12? If you don't have calculator, here's what you want to do. Let's break up 180 into 18 times 10. And the 12 is 6 times 2. So we must cancel out the positives. I know. We also convert it into 7. So we must multiply it into 6 times 3 is equal to 18. And 5 times 2 is equal to 10. So the denominator is 6 times 2. So we must cancel out the same term, which is positive 6 and positive 2. So the remaining answer is 7, 3, 5. So we must calculate this. 7 times 3 is equal to 21, and 21 times 5 is equal to 105 or 105 degrees. So the cosine is 15 degrees. So the tangent 30, so the cosine 7 pi over 12 is cosine 105 degrees. The common angle that we use is 60 plus 45, so therefore we need to use the formula cosine A plus B is equal to cos A cos B plus sine A and sine B. So here's the example using cosine function, which is cosine 60 plus 45 is equal to cosine 60 degrees and cosine 45 degrees minus sine 60 degrees and sine 45 degrees. So using the triangle that we mentioned before, we could then tell the cosine 60 degrees is 1/2, and the 45 degrees is square root of 2 over 2, and copy the sign minus negative. And since the 60 degrees of our unit circle is square root of 3 over 2, and sine 45 degrees in our unit circle is, the radians is square root of 2 over 2. So let's rationalize this. So since 1 times square root of 2 is equal to square root of 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, so the denominator is 4, and copy the sign. So square root of 3 times square root of 2 is equal to 6, square root of 6, and the denominator is 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. So the final answer is square root of 2 minus square root of 6 over 4, because they are the same the denominator, so we need just to copy.